Merry Christmas and Happy Holidays to everyone out there. Thanks for joining me for episode 19 of the Coach Carter Legacy Mode on College Hoops 2K8. Last time out on the hardwood, we cruised through more of our added conference schedule in year 3, including an upset win versus St. Louis, but we also got embarrassed at home by our rival Belmont, our first loss to them in the entire series, and came up short against Loyola Chicago in the championship of our preseason tournament. And that'll leave us with a record of 4-3 so far through 7 games. It's just been a very weird start to this season. I mean, we look very good against teams like Kentucky, who we beat in Rupp Arena, and like I said, St. Louis, but other teams that are at our level, we've seemed to have some trouble against, like Winston-Salem, Loyola, etc. So Coach Carter is going to need to work out these kinks with having so many new players. We're going to need to turn things around before conference play, and I'll get to why now. On paper, this seems to be the easiest season so far to win the OVC Conference Tournament and participate in March Madness, which is something that not only has Coach Carter not achieved yet, but something the UT Martin program has not accomplished yet since being founded in 1992. But in the offseason, Tennessee State lost NBA prospect Jasper Powell, Samford is still the youngest team in the conference, Southeast Missouri State, who won the tournament last year, graduated both their backcourt starters, Tennessee Tech lost Garrison Farmer, who always gave us trouble, and Devontae Douglas, who was first team OVC twice in his career. Austin Peay lost Caleb Chambers, who led the league in scoring a year ago. No more Corey Barnes on Murray State. I could really go on, as it seems like a down year across the conference. And with UTM still having 3 starters, and having the best recruiting class coming into this year, this might be the season that they play ball in March for the first time, but they need to fix some issues resulting in them playing down to their opposition, which leads me to our first opponent in conference play this year, the Murray State Racers, a big rival for us so far in the series. Murray State has started the year 1-3, and they were one of the teams hit hardest by graduation, but this is a solid basketball program, and I wouldn't be surprised if we face them again in the postseason. Their center, Carlos Thompson, is their leading scorer, as this is the first year that he's been the number 1 option in this offense, but he's still given us trouble in the past doing the little things. The Racers also welcome Courtney Connolly, their point guard, to the rotation, who will look to try to fill the shoes of Corey Barnes. They also have Micah Foreman, a Florida State transfer who will make an impact day 1, but will have to sit out this year due to NCAA rule. So off we go here in Murray, Kentucky. As it was a jump shot apiece from Easley and Saunders to get us on the board, it's tied 4-4 now as a nice screen from Faye frees up Easley again, who hits a rainbow. So a quick start from Easley. We've seen him come alive more often than not here in year 3 on the offensive end, and now Luke Lawton and Faye both do their part in recording a steal, and Saunders with the drive and the friendly touch on that acrobatic layup. So a good start for us, but Murray State is keeping pace, but another tip pass by, this time it's Blaine Fry who actually records a steal. And how about Faye with the double clutch, fighting his way through Thompson and Sebastian Farley. As Farley, the power forward on the Racers, is actually the top rated player in the conference at 75 overall. A missed layup there by Othello Symes. And up 15-8, Luke Lawton puts, who was that on skates? Let's see the replay. That is number 33, that is Jamar Stearns, who was looking silly as Lawton gave him the in and out. Not one of the players on the roster that you would think to have nice handles, but he does step up and knock down 2 of 2 from the line as well to put the finishing touches. But now Courtney Connolly with the shot clock winding down as some bench players check in for UT Martin. Connolly has 7 of the Racers' first 15. And they would eventually knot it up with 2 more baskets thanks to Othello Symes, but now Jacques Diggs enters the ball game, and right off the bench cold, he knocks down a 3, as in this episode his development was definitely apparent. Diggs has been up and down so far in his freshman year, but how about this pass from another fellow first-year player, Pierre Hamilton leading Christopher Faye to the rim, and he makes good on that layup. So another nice dime. It's so key to have somebody off the bench like Pierre Hamilton who can lead the offense, as now here's Marcus Saunders, who we welcome back onto the court, who gets the run out opportunity and slams it down off of the steal. Marcus has definitely been up to expectations this year, averaging just a hair over 20 points per game in his junior year, although in the first half of this game, his volume has been very high, but he hasn't scored many points. But now easily off the catch and shoot, breaking the zone nicely. He found a soft spot, and his range is just getting longer and longer as we speak. Now we see UT Martin back in control. Murray State went on a bit of a run, but now we see UT Martin taking over as Easley records the steal thanks to Blaine Fry's active hands, as Blaine Fry actually leads UT Martin in steals at 1.5 a game. Now up by 10 with 10 seconds left. This one's worked around to Courtney Connolly, who has almost single-handedly kept Murray State in the game. He's got 15, but Easley across the timeline gives it to Faye, pulls up as the shot clock expires. But look at the replay, just barely did not get that off. The freshman forward Fry just a couple tenths of a second away from nailing a buzzer beater to take us into the locker room, but that will leave us with the score of 34-27. So right now, it just seems like UT Martin should be up by more than 7 points. It feels like they're really outplaying Murray State today, but thanks to Corey Connolly and the struggles from Saunders, they are still staying around. So here we see Courtney Connolly with a sham god on Saunders, delivers this one over to Sebastian Farley as the sophomore drains his first basket of the night. And yes, like I said, Farley is the #1 player in the conference overall wise, but he's not really the guy to score a lot of points. He's more of a plus athlete and a plus defender, as we see Courtney Connolly fading away from the baseline, a nice feed from Marcelo Symes. And it seems like Courtney Connolly's doing a great job of filling the shoes of Barnes, but now on the other end, a catch and shoot opportunity for Marcus Saunders. Like I said, his efficiency hasn't been the greatest today, but he's still hitting shots here and there as Lawton tries it from 3 off the mark. But now here we see Saunders rising up over Carlos Thompson, one of the best rebounders in the league, as now easily tries it off the front rim, but now Saunders with his second offensive board of the possession. Third time is the charm for Easley from the top of the key, overtaking Saunders to being the top scorer today. He's got 15. And that's one part of our game as a team that was an issue last year that seems to be fixed this year. We weren't sure how we were going to rebound without Floyd Zubek, but this year we seem like a lot better of a rebounding team. So far, Blaine Fry is averaging over 7 boards a game, and Christopher Faye is taking that next step in rebounding. He's averaging 6.5, but now Blair Renfro, he catches and fires and knocks it down. A great assist from Jacques Diggs, finding him from the deep corner. And you already know, every time there's a zone defense we're facing, Blair Renfro licks his chops. And we've seen a lot of nice plays from Jacques Diggs, but now how about Pierre Hamilton? Making a solid play, a nice drive leading to some free throws, as he has yet to miss one in his junior or sophomore season rather, but he misses one here. Blair Renfro, he regains possession, but it's blocked by Carlos Thompson, his 4th of the ball game. He's been sending back shots left and right, a big reason why Murray State has stayed in the game even though he only has 1 bucket, as Courtney Connolly tries a 3, no good, but Carlos Thompson puts in the second chance points. Murray State back within 1 possession. Thompson has also been going toe-to-toe with Christopher Faye, as Faye is averaging 10 points a game this season, but he's barely had any opportunities today. Luke Lawton's made a 3 earlier on in the ball game, but he misfires there. And how about that fast break? That ball went all 94 feet and maybe 1 or 2 dribbles, as Othello Symes assists to Jamar Stearns to give Murray State their first lead since the first half. And now Lawton at the controls tries to find Blaine Fry in the middle of the zone, but that pass will never get in there, as now here's Porter Todd assisting to Symes, who catches and fires. Number 12 has 12 points, and Murray State has taken their biggest lead of the contest. Now here's Jamar Stearns again, but this time he looks to rotate this one around, gets it to Symes, and now he delivers one from the left corner. 15 points, he has 12 of those in the second half. Othello Symes has come alive here, one of the many racers who have been red hot in the second half, as Fry finally halts the momentum a little bit, down by 7, a big drive to the basket by Saunders. And maybe this big basket by the junior guard can help halt this momentum, as Murray State has been enjoying an 18-4 run in the last few minutes, as on the very next possession Saunders would do it again, this time with a lefty scoop finish to cut the lead back to a possession, giving him 19 on the ball game, as Luke Lawton almost takes it away, but Sebastian Farley recovers, and Carlos Thompson goes one-on-one, but a great defensive stand by Christopher Faye, not giving an inch and not fouling on that layup. So down by a possession with 2:22 left to go, Easy receives the screen from Faye, and he draws some more free throws, so Easy continues his very potent offensive day as he steps to the line and knocks down 2 of 2, but Murray State would answer back with a layup of their own, as this game is still at 3 points. So Saunders and Faye pick and roll out of the inbound, and Faye finally finishes one. Probably the first offensive night that Faye has had here in his sophomore year, but there's points 5 and 6 for him as Lawton narrowly misses another steal, and off of the hook screen, Fry gets caught over contesting for that pass, as it's going to be Sebastian Farley scoring that layup, and that lead would hold 60-57, 22 seconds left to play. As once again here in year 3, another nail biter, another game just coming down to one possession. We've seen this time and time again in year 3. 10 seconds left, Saunders on the outside gives it to Easley, who's looking for a screen from Fry. 5 seconds left, they're gonna have to hurry. 3 seconds left, Saunders, what is he doing? Behind the back pass, Easley at the buzzer, ties it! Dwight Easley has done it again, time and time again. Whenever that shot clock turns on, I said it so many times, Dwight Easley is your guy, and on the second look at this play, shot clock in the top left corner, just gets it off with milliseconds left to spare, unlike Blaine Fry's shot at the end of the first half. So we enter the overtime period, tied up at 60. Still got a chance, trying to survive these hot shooting racers. A fresh 5 minutes left on the clock as Easley, the first possession of overtime, he does it again. 22 on the night for him. 3:35 left to play, Murray State would answer back and add a little bit more on top of it, as now it's Sebastian Farley who hits the 3. As the power forward does have a nice stroke from outside when he decides to pull it. Now up by 5, Murray State, with 2.5 left to go. We see Othello Symes knocking one down, and from then on out, it would be all Murray State in the overtime period. They were just red hot once they went to the locker room and came out in the second half. From then on out, it just seemed like they could not miss. UT Martin gets outscored 18-6 in the overtime period, as it was just an embarrassing loss here in the extra 5 minutes of play. 22 points from Easley with one of his best career games and 5 steals. Marcus Saunders had 21, but it also took him 21 shots to get that total. As like I said before, just a very inefficient game from him. That on top of he had some shots that he could have hit to make this game a little bit more competitive and maybe avoid an overtime period, but he just couldn't knock him down. Luke Lawton, Blaine Fry, and Christopher Faye only combining for 12 points. It just really wasn't the best day outside of our backcourt. And on the other side of things, 21 apiece from Othello Symes and Courtney Connolly, as Connolly looks like he's going to be a big threat for years to come. Carlos Thompson chipping in 4, 4, and 4 on top of Sebastian Farley's big second half. He had 15, and he looked tough to stop. So, after falling to 0-1 in this Christmas Day episode and in the conference, we make the trip back home to host the Samford Bulldogs, who finished 3rd in the Ohio Valley in Season 1, while scoring the least amount of points a game in the entire conference. How do they do that, you might ask? Well, they allowed the least amount of points as well, so yes, this is a very methodical team who aren't known for committing errors too often. They came off the season last year where they finished 2nd to last in the conference, but they do have a very energizing young core, including 7'1" center Seneca Lopez, who has a very nice touch in the paint, and on the perimeter, junior guard Matt Payne leads the way as one of the best shooters in the league, and JUCO transfer Kyle Jeter at point guard averages 3.5 assists per game. So after we fall to 4-4 on the season, we gotta start to get this ship sailing straight. But as I say that, this may be a very exploitable matchup for us, as Samford, this is our 6th meeting against them in Coach Carter's career. We've seen them a lot, and we know what they like to do. They're a very well-coached defensive team, as Easley gets us underway. They don't force mistakes too often from themselves, and they're very physical on defense. They like to frustrate other teams, so if we can outshoot them, they have a pretty good chance tonight. As you can see, we've been doing a pretty good job of that so far. Just like last game out, it's a bucket from Easley and Saunders apiece to get us underway, but here comes Gary Westbrook to halt some of that momentum. Westbrook, the 4th leading scorer on Samford, he's averaging 7.5 a game. But so far, UT Martin attacking this zone and this very scary defense, exploiting all the holes like it's Swiss cheese so far. Even Blaine Fry records his 2nd basket of the night. 18-8 start for UT Martin, and now Saunders gives it to Faye, who has a mismatch on him. It's Kyle Jeter, who stands at 5'10", giving up over a foot of height. And Christopher Faye doesn't get much easier than that, now 20-8. We cut to this play as Trey Holcomb feeds it to Jared Marino, who has his pocket picked from behind. A very smart double team there from Pierre Hamilton, and he dishes it to Saunders. Not many guys can thread a needle like Pierre Hamilton as he shows it again on this break, his second assist of the night, and it was a beauty setting up Saunders for the Baby J. So far so good. Seneca Lopez behind the back pass to Kyle Jeter as they continue to try to keep pace with us shooting the ball, but he doesn't get it to fall. Pierre Hamilton looks like he's about to set up the offense, but he finds Evan Schneiderman. All the good point guards know where the trailer is, and that's why Hamilton did there. And even Evan Schneiderman, who struggled on offense so far in his freshman year, he gets on the board as well. 26-16 as this ball works around to Jacques Diggs for his second field goal of the night. And like I said, Jacques Diggs in this episode, even in this stretch of games that I'm going to be showing you today, he had a big development curve as now Blair Renfro picks off the pass, and check out Diggs again pulling up on the break. 7 points for him tonight. The lead swells to 15, and the thefts would not stop there. Diggs picks this one up, and he pulls it from 3, heat check. Oh, if he made that, the top of this building would have blown off. And now Trey Holcomb back on the attack gives to Kyle Jeter, who tries to give it back to Holcomb, but it's picked off by Renfro, who nearly avoids a turnover as Hamilton takes this one all the way to the hole. Pierre Hamilton, a nice touch on that layup, just having that layup bounce back into the rim, and it feels like every time him and Jacques Diggs do something good, they're the first ones to greet each other. Hamilton and Diggs together in this recruiting class, they seem to become very good friends, and now Hamilton makes a jump shot. He seems to be better at the mid-range game than we all initially thought, as that's not the first time we've seen him this year pull it from 10 to 15 feet and swish it. And now Matt Payne tries it near the end of the half. He continues his horrible day from the field. 3 seconds left. Of course it's in the hands of Dwight Easley. Who else would make it at the buzzer other than the 6'3" junior guard? As he does it again, what else can I say? Even with a hand in his face, it doesn't knock him off his stride in the slightest. Thanks to Saunders' 10, but really the entire team as a whole. This is one of the best halves of basketball we've seen from UT Martin as a team perspective. And now beginning the second half, up 43-21, Saunders catching fires. Just like that, Saunders is up to 13. UT Martin improves to 6 of 11 shooting from beyond the arc here in this ball game, and that trend would continue as Evan Schneiderman gets doubled and out of the post. Look at the vision, look at the teamwork. Saunders again, 51-22. We have not seen a lead this big ever in the series, and Saunders off the inbound does it again. Oh my goodness, he is unconscious. How about 19 all of a sudden from Saunders? Saunders had 10 in the first half, and he's already doubled the output here in the first 4 minutes of the second. Now Easley has his turn to step up and hit a shot from beyond the arc. Now he's in double figures as well. The lead now swelling to 31 points, more than what Samford has scored as a team tonight. Nice pass from Saunders, no good from Faye, but he collects his 5th offensive rebound and puts it in. Faye sits at 8 points, so a quietly strong night for him. And now check out Jacques Diggs, moving without the ball off the inbound. A V-cut to the strong side corner frees him up, and he jays the 7-footer Seneca Lopez, giving him a double-digit performance tonight. And now Lawton feeds Schofield on the interior. He gets the hoop plus the harm. The backup center scores it, as it's been all hands on deck here tonight for sure from UT Martin. And no more starters from here on out with 5.5 minutes left to play. Up 70-39, there's no need for any of that. And Pierre Hamilton assists to Jacques Diggs, who continues his career night. And what was that? Did Jacques Diggs just dab at the end of that? Look, dab. This game came out in 2007. You gotta be kidding me. Anyway, 73-44 is the score, as now Pierre Hamilton wants to get in the fun. And look at him pumping up the crowd. Hamilton's a pretty reserved player. We don't see him expressing his emotion too much, but I guess tonight is a perfect excuse to. And now up 32 points, we see Davion Baez check in, who averages 0.8 points per game in his career. And how about this? Catch and shoot Baez from the corner. Knock down Jay. Davion Baez with his first points of the new season. And another guy who's checking in who doesn't play a lot, Chauncey Cantrell. This is actually his first college action tonight ever in his career, as the former walk-on freshman sends back Matt Payne. How about Cantrell playing defense? And Hamilton's looking for him. He wants to reward him for playing some D, and he just leaves the layup short. Oh, Chauncey Cantrell, but we still got some chances to get him in the stat sheet. Baez feeds him in the post. Hop step move around Seneca Lopez, and there it is. Chauncey Cantrell gets in the stat sheet for the first time in his college career. And overall, that is just the I guess the icing on top of the cake for tonight. Just a fun night here in Martin, Tennessee. And at the end of the day, 86-54 is your final. The biggest discrepancy of points in any win for Coach Carter in his coaching career. 5 players in double figures. How about 22 team assists? Overall, great team basketball. And everybody who checked in the game scored except for Blair Renfro, who did play some defense tonight. So it wasn't a total loss. And overall, wow, what a night. This is one to remember for sure. Jacques Diggs with a career high, and Pierre Hamilton with his first double-figure scoring total ever in his career, and he also chipped in 5 assists and 26 points combined for the 2 bench backcourt mates. They really stole the show in the second half. So, a memorable night here at home on Christmas too, so that just makes it even sweeter. But we have to move on. So, there's a little ripple in our schedule. We have 2 out-of-conference games to finish that slate, and then we, for the rest of the year, play OVC opponents. And the first of those 2 games was against Florida Gulf Coast, which we take this game by 9 points. And Gulf Coast came into this game only as a 2-win team, and we were able to have a big second half to pull away. Lawton had a career game, 15 and 10 rebounds, career highs in both of those categories, and we also had another game with 5 players in double figures. Moving on to Long Beach State, this is a team who only had 1 win, and we beat the brakes off of them. This was a 17-point win, and Saunders had 26, Faye with yet another double-double. Everybody who checked in the game scored a basket, and overall, just another good team win. So we're finally starting to get adjusted with teams at our level. We're starting to win these close ones, and blowout teams we should blow out. And Jacksonville State, this is a game that we should have won by more points. We had almost 50 as a team in the first half, and thank goodness we were able to overcome the huge second half surge from Britton Holland and the Jacksonville State Gamecocks. And they finished last in the conference last year, and they don't look very competitive this year once again. But this is just a great sign that we were able to at least pull this one out. So, on a bit of a hot streak as we travel to Southeast Missouri State to take on the defending conference champions of the OVC tournament last year. It'll be Skyhawks versus the Redhawks tonight, as Southeast Missouri, they've kind of transitioned to more of a big fella center team. Most of their scoring comes from the interior. Nate Stinson, the sophomore big, leads the team, and Ladarius Kitchen, he is 3rd. Tim Kamara, another big guy, he's 4th. And Gifford Kimball, one of the best energizers and rebounders in the conference, he also returns this year. So this team, despite graduating their backcourt duo, they look in tune to be another solid team here in the conference. They sit at 4-5 overall, 2-1 in OVC play so far, and if UT Martin can beat this team, that'll make it 5 in a row victorious. So, underway from Cape Girardeau, Missouri tonight, as we find ourselves in a bit of a hole as Quay Workman fires. No good there. And Easley runs the show up to Saunders, who gives a nice lead pass to Lawton, who draws the foul from Ladarius Kitchen. And Kitchen, one of the better shot blockers in the conference, stands at 6'11", 304 pounds, so he is an absolute unit in the interior. And there's Tim Kamara, one of the better scorers on this team, finishing that layup. But these teams are going back and forth here in the early goings. So far, it's been a shootout as Christopher Faye gets the poster on top of the Redhawks defense and Ladarius Kitchen himself, and that's not an easy guy to poster, not by any means. And now in the next possession, Faye tries to go into the post again. This time he's met a lot earlier by Kitchen, but now Easley with a nice ball fake leads him open for a 3 that almost touches the rafters before that one drops. A rainbow by Easley pushes it to 4, and now an 8-point game, as now it's Saunders taking Nate Stinson one-on-one, and he gets to go over the 6'9" freshman. Saunders is just such a magical finisher, isn't he? He wins so many battles at the rim against guys he gives up multiple inches on. And now Faye tries to battle inside with the reserve center Lamont Bird, a freshman, but he gets sent back. And Womack, who leads the charge for the Redhawks, now he gives this one up to Rakeem Harper. And that 3, just like that, it's back to a one possession ball game rather. Now with 7 minutes left to play in the first half, this one is Tristan Womack trying it from the same spot, no good, but some rebounding issues early for the UT Martin, and that's how they pretty much let the Redhawks get back in this game as Tim Kamara makes his 3rd field goal. Gene Schofield quick up the other side, and Saunders is assisted by Dominique Cleveland, who Coach Carter had in there to try to help with the rebounding disparity. And now the Redhawks up by 3. Nice dish from Tristan Womack, who leads this team in assists per game. He's got 4 already tonight. So, digging ourselves into a little bit of a hole. We all know the bench has been pretty tough to watch at points this year, but Diggs also checks in, and he's open from the corner. Swoosh, he does it again. He remains hot. And I feel like Diggs' development has been one of the main reasons why we started to win some more games. As we all know, the bench has had its fair share of ups and downs, but Diggs just being a main scorer off the bench could really help with our starting 5 off the floor. As Clay Workman misses the 3 and Diggs in the open court, that's when he's his most fun to watch, as he delivers the lob pass to Luke Lawton, who finishes over Lamont Bird. So just like that, the swagger's back a little bit. UT Martin was falling behind a little bit there after their hot start, but now they find themselves back in the driver's seat. But Clay Workman gets his revenge. Pierre Hamilton leaving him just a little bit too much space, and Workman's got 7. He's the top scorer on the Redhawks out of all of their guards. So now, down 3, all the starters re-enter the game, as Dwight Easley, off the bench, he hits a 3 thanks to a nice screen by Blaine Fry. He has his second triple, and we're knotted back up here at 33 apiece. The bench overall did a really good job holding the fort down with the starters vacant from the hardwood. Now with 5 seconds left, we've seen Easley do it time and time again, but he fires a missile to Saunders. What court vision! As Saunders extends this lead to 5 before the half. And a great heads-up play by Easley, as I'm sure this defense was looking for him to be the guy to take the shot with what he's done in the past few weeks, really his whole career. But Saunders, he had his hands ready to catch the ball, and he finishes the half with 19. So UT Martin with a great offensive half, 6 made 3 balls, they got to the line a lot, and they started to rebound better at the end of the first half, resulting in a big run to take us into the half. And Saunders with 19, he's been the man to watch tonight. But we'll see if the break in the action cools off Saunders and or UT Martin, as they went on a bit of a run to end the first half. And Tristan Womack has something to say about that. The point guard has 5 assists and now 5 points to go along with it. And Saunders on the other end, look at him moving without the ball in his hands, catching and firing, beating the zone to perfection. How about 22 points for the microwave Saunders? And he takes it again, but this time Tim Kamara gets the last laugh. Womack leading the break, going one-on-one against Dwight Easley, and the soft touch from the low post. He has 7 points on the night. And now on the other end, here comes Faye. With so many big guys on the Redhawks who can play defense, I'm very surprised with the showing that Faye's had. And check out Faye beating Tim Kamara to the spot on the other end, sacrificing the body to take the charge. Doing it on both ends tonight is Faye for sure. And now up by 7, Womack leading the charge. Some bench players about to check in as Nate Stinson converts the and one. He had the height mismatch on Saunders, and he gets it to go. So the freshman big with only his second basket, despite leading this team in points per game at about 9.5. This free throw can trim the deficit down to 4, but he cannot convert. And Blair Renfro also making his way into the game. This one is rotated to Jock Diggs for 3, and now he's got 8 on the night. Talk about another explosion for him, and he would not be done there. Evan Schneiderman from the post. Check out that pass he wrapped around multiple Red Hawk defenders. And Diggs with another double-digit scoring total off the bench. Now Saunders tries his luck. That one he leaves short. But Faye with the rebound and putback over Tim Kamara. He's also in double figures as he continues his very impressive showing, and Lawton playing the passing lane. Too lazy of a pass from Tristan Womack, and Easley with a missile into Marcus Saunders, who taps off the fast break. The lead just like that swelling as we speak, up to 13 now, and Faye with a mismatch. He wants to go one-on-one, but he's met by a double team. Thanks to Ladarius Kitchen, they try to switch the matchup real quick to Easley, but not in time. On the closeout is Womack. Easley knocks down another triple, remains perfect, 4-4 from beyond the arc tonight, and that would be the knockout punch. 71-60 is your final, and UT Martin has made it so they've won 5 games in a row. We look hot, and Marcus Saunders had 26, but only 7 of those coming in the second half, as it was a great team effort to close out these Redhawks. easily with one of his most efficient games of his career, Faye with almost another near double-double, and how about Jock Diggs continuing to progress, continuing to help out the bench, and he's just such an energizing player to watch, and I think his progression is definitely a big reason why we're seeming to start holding on to some of these leads, because the bench checks in and they can actually hold that lead that they inherit from the starters, unlike the first few weeks of the season. And overall, we just seem like a more balanced team. We're not favoring one half or the other. It seems like that's the reason why we lost some of our games to begin the year. We were either a first half or a second half team, but we're starting to play a full 30 minutes as we improve to 3-1 in conference play, 9-4 overall thanks to these 5 straight that we've won. And so far, so good. I mean, this might be the year, guys, that we finally break into March Madness if we can finish high enough in the Ohio Valley Conference and play our best basketball in the postseason. We also lead the conference in points per game as a team by a pretty wide margin. Us and Austin Peay, we lead the rest of the conference by at least 5 points per game. And check out the defense. Right now, we are 5th in least points per game allowed in the conference. And I feel like this is probably the best we've looked, not just this season, but potentially maybe this entire series. The bench is starting to gel. Easley and Saunders are becoming more consistent. Faye is taking his game to higher levels. Fry is that backbone we needed after Floyd Zubek left. Jock Diggs, man, what more can I say about him? And Luke Lawton has had some very solid games here and there, filling in for Joey Ballard, who's still projected to miss about a month of time with that broken ankle. Unfortunately, the Christmas Day special of Skyhawk Hoops has come to an end, but I appreciate you guys coming out and watching and spending some time with me here on your Christmas Day, and happy holidays all around. We take on Austin Peay, Morehead State, who was number 1 in the conference last year, and our schedule starts to pick up in the next episode, so let's see. Were we just benefiting from an easy schedule, or is this UT Martin team actually legit? We're going to find out next time here on Coach Carter Career Legacy Mode series. Stay tuned, everybody.